Hello and welcome back to another TBR video, which is kind of insane to say. We will be building the November TBR today because where did the year go? How come? I hit my head. I hit my head in the bookcase. That's how shocked I am. How come we are already in November? Somehow we are. So let's build the November TBR. Here we have my cookie jar. And if you're new here, we are going to be picking a prompt that it is inside my TBR jar. Okay, Siren? Let's ignore it, otherwise I'm not sure when we'll be able to go back to this video. But basically, we will pick a prompt from inside this TBR jar, and based on the prompt, we will choose a book that will be either on my physical TBR or on the Kindle TBR. The Kindle is upside down, on the Kindle TBR. So we are going to pick 7 prompts and choose the books. So let's start. Hopefully we will pick a prompt that I haven't picked before, because sometimes, or in the best TBR videos, I have been picking so many repeat prompts, even though I have so many that I know for sure are unopened. The first prompt is this one. Star Wars vibes. I think I picked this book up before, not this book. I think I picked this prompt up before. And I remember rewatching that video and being so mad at myself that I was like, I don't know if I have any book with Star Wars vibe. Red Rising. It's about a revolution in space. Literally Star Wars. So I guess this is the first book on our TBR. Red Rising. Let's pick a second prompt. A prize-winning book or author. So we also have a few of those on the TBR. I was between 2 books. I was either going to pick here, Piranesi by Susanna Clarke, because this won the Women's Prize for Fiction 2021 winner. I think this is a British prize, but I also have this book, which is The Saga of Costa Berling by Selma Lagerlöf. And Selma Lagerlöf, she was the first woman to win the Nobel Prize. And this book apparently is Christmassy. At least I remember hearing about it at Christmas time and someone recommending like books to read for Christmas. And it seems interesting. I don't see a lot of people talking about it, so I think I'm going to look at The Saga of Costa Berling on the TBR. Third prompt. Okay, which one is this one? The first book in a series. Okay, we already have one in TBR, which is Red Rising. Now let's see if I have any other one. So the first book I thought about was Caraval. I have Dune, which was a book I was wanting to read this year, but I think we already have a speculative fiction in this, and I know for a fact I love reading some fluff, and I think I might have some first books in series on my Kindle that are romance. Yes, I think I'm going with the first one, which is on my Kindle, and it's one I've been wanting to read for quite some time and I heard really good things about. It is Flawless by Elsie Silver, which is a cowboy romance, and that's everything I know about it. Cowboys and people love it. Let's pick a fourth prompt. I know for a fact that I've opened the other one. Let's pick it again since I already got to the time. It's not cheating, is it? Is it the same prompt? Oh no, I don't like this prompt. My mom recommends this book. I don't have the same book taste as my mom. I know for a fact there are 2 books in the TBR that my mom recommended it to me, that she actually gifted me the book because she wanted me to read, but you haven't seen me pick this prompt up. I haven't picked it. No, we are redoing it. I'm not picking the book my mom recommended it. I'm really not in the mood to read The Secret. Oh look, the 4th prompt! Book Talk loves this book. Not sure if the camera is focusing, because sometimes it just doesn't focus. But Book Talk loves this book. We have You and Me on Vacation, but I think I'm going with The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. I got this book in a book fair. Oh, I even have like bookmarks inside this book. I got this book in a book fair around 2 to 3 years ago and I never got to it. And I think it's about time. Let's pick the 5th book for the November TBR. Why did I buy this book again? So, the thing is, I don't have that many books that I'm like, oh, why did I buy it again? I think I read most of the ones that were kind of in this category because there are a lot of books that are on my TBR. They have been for quite some time, but I know exactly why I bought them. On Kindle, I think it is easier because sometimes I just buy books on Kindle because they are on sale. So let's have a look. Okay, I think I found one on Kindle, and it's not that I don't understand why I got this book. It's like, it's a funny story. So I heard about this book, someone saying, oh, this book inspired 1984. It inspired Brave New World, and I was like, I need to read this book. So I went on Amazon and I went to search for it, and then I saw the Kindle for very cheap, and then I got it because it was like more of a symbolic price rather than being actually having like a price. It was really cheap, so I got it. The thing is, when I bought it, I acted like I have never heard of this book. But I have heard of this book. This book was on my list of books I want to read one day. And there is actually this really beautiful physical edition that I was planning on getting. And then for some reason, I didn't put the two together and I didn't realize the book with the beautiful edition is the same book that I got without realizing, like the book that inspired 1984 and Brave New World, and that I just didn't realize it was the same book. And it is We by Yevgeny Zamyatin. This is a dystopia that apparently takes place in a world, I think the buildings are made of glass or something like that, I'm not sure. I just heard that it is a classic dystopia. Apparently Yevgeny Zamyatin, he's Russian, but this book was not initially published in Russia. It was published in some other country. It was later published in Russia many years later because it was already a success. And as a person that loves this sort of books, I really wanted to read it. So let's put We by Yevgeny Zamyatin. Like even the funniest thing is that this book has been on my TBR for quite some time. Why didn't I just buy the physical copy? I know why I got the Kindle, but I know why I got the book. I don't understand how didn't I realize it was the same book as the one on my list. Now let's pick, I was going to put a 5th, but it's actually a 6th prompt because we have 2 Kindle books. A book in French. So a book that I own that is in French. So we could go with this prompt in 2 different ways. We can pick a book that is in French, but it was not originally written in French, or we can put a book that was originally written in French. I actually have a section here. Oh, except this one. They are all the books in French I currently have on my TBR, I believe. Just make sure. No, I don't think these are all the books in French that I own on my physical TBR. I think I have a few on my Kindle, but mainly it is one. So I'm not sure which one I'm going to read. So we have Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. First, yes, my edition of Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn is in French, even though French is not my native language. I actually got this book for free on my former French school. They were kind of doing one of those library sales, except that it was for free, so I just got it. And I didn't realize it was Gone Girl until years later, actually. You also have Le Fleur du Mal by Baudelaire. We have La Dame aux Camélias by Dumas Fils. Let's put it here. Then we have my little collection of Camus, because I read The Stranger years ago and I loved it, and I put in my head that I wanted to read all his other books, but in French. So when I found these copies in the bookstore, I grabbed them, and it's been a few years and I still haven't read it. We have Le Mythe de Sisyphe, is that how you pronounce it? I think it would be like the myth of something in English, I'm not sure. We have La Peste, or sorry, I don't remember the names of these books in English for some reason. For some reason, I'm only knowing them in French, and not only because it's a book that I own. I think because I was so focused on trying to find them in French that that's the only title that glued in my head. We have La Chute, also by Camus. We have Hotel Casanova by Annie Ernaux. This is quite a short book. I got it right, I think, when it was released a few years ago, and I still haven't read it. Let's look on my Kindle if I have any book in French. I know for a fact I have Le Comte de Monte Cristo, or The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas, which is one of my favorite books ever. I started rereading it in French, and then I kind of just stopped. Not because I was not enjoying it, because it's one of my favorite books ever. It's just that I kind of started prioritizing other books because I have already read that one, and I wanted to take my time and appreciate the writing, and just I love that book so much that I just wanted to appreciate it even more than when I read the first time, because I already know the story. But maybe it is time to start reading it again. Let me see if I have anything else in French here. I already found another one. I have Alice au Pays des Merveilles, or Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. For some reason, I have a version of this book in French on my Kindle. I think, no, I read this one already. I believe I have Candide by Voltaire. Let me check. I think I have, no, yeah, I was right, because I have a book called Les Miserables, or I thought I was getting the French edition. Turns out it is the English edition on Kindle. Maybe, I don't know. Ideally, I would love to read Les Miserables in French. It's one of the reasons why I decided to take the language, so I could read these books in their original language. I think I'm going for one of the Camus, because it's been years. I just need to figure out what each of them are, because I forgot what each of these books are. Truly, I don't know which one to go for. Like, this one, it's darker than I was expecting. This one, if I remember correctly, it would do some kind of pandemic, which we had one recently. This one, I don't know what it is about. Maybe I should read this one, La Chute. I will put the name in English on the screen. So La Chute is our next book. Let's pick the final book from this TBR. A medium priority book. I'm not sure if I ever picked this prompt up. So a medium priority book would be like, I have a list of books I want to read, ideally until the end of the year, and then I have a list of books I have no priority in reading. A medium priority book would be a book that is very much in the middle. What do we have here? Rouge by Mona Awad. I think, if I remember correctly, this is supposed to be some sort of retelling of Snow White, and it is a commentary on the beauty industry, and I just love this cover. And I also really enjoy Bunny. I would love to read this book soon, but it isn't necessarily my priority, so I guess this matches the medium priority prompt. Now let's recap all the 7 books from this TBR. So let's start by the 2 books from Kindle. We have Flawless, I believe it's the name, right? Yes. Flawless by Elsie Silver, which is a cowboy romance, and that's all I know about. It's a cowboy romance, and people love it. I know a little bit of the books, but I'm not sure in which order each of the characters people keep talking about on the internet, which is the order of their books. Then we have We by Evgeny Samyatin, which is a classic dystopia. Then let's go for the physical books. We have, starting from the back. What am I doing with my life? We have Red Rising by Pierce Brown. This is a sci-fi novel that takes place in space, and there is a revolution going on in the space, and the red will rise, apparently. Then we have so many prompts raining on me. We have The Saga of Ghost of Berlin by Selma Lagerlöf. This is a book that apparently follows some guy roaming around countryside Sweden during the Napoleonic Wars, or something like that. Apparently it is also Christmassy for some reason. This is the second book from the TBR. Then we have a TikTok favorite. We have The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. This book has been on my TBR for quite some time now, and I think it's time to read it. Then we have La Chute by Albert Camus. I'll put the name in English on the screen because I truly can't remember what the names of his books are in any other language than French. It's kind of hilarious in a way. I feel so pretentious saying this, but you know when you dive so deep into something. It's me with this author and trying to figure out what are his books with the name in French so I can buy the edition of his books in French. I'll put the name in English on the screen. And then to finish off, we have Rouge by Mona A. Rudd. This book, I love this cover, but I also don't like that it is matte because it kind of gathers all dust and your fingerprints. And also, I do like that it is a large book, but in some ways I also don't like it because it doesn't match. My bunny copy is in a shelf above me, but it is larger than my bunny copy. But it's a medium priority book, and these are all the 7 books I plan on reading in November, hopefully. So yes, that's it for this video, and if you liked it, consider leaving a like. The button will be right underneath this video, and also subscribe to the channel so you can get more bookish videos on your subscription box, and I hope to see you very soon with another one. Bye!